difference between entrepreneurial marketing and corporate marketing. If you or if you study business administration, or if you have background about marketing, or if you used to work for a multinational company and used to run marketing campaigns, actually it's very different from doing marketing for a startup or for a small company. Because at the end of the day, in a small company, you have a very limited budget, you have limited resources, you have limited experience, limited expertise. So you need, with this small and this limited resources, to be able to launch campaigns, run your business, reach out to your customers and get money at the end of the day. You don't have the luxury to invest in branding. You don't have the luxury to invest in creating buzz and awareness without reflection on sales. So entrepreneurial marketing is different from corporate marketing. Entrepreneurial marketing is a different kind of marketing, different mix, different strategies that works out for a startup with very limited resources. So if you're familiar with, for example, the marketing mix and traditional marketing, the marketing channels, the traditional marketing channels that usually people used to advertise on, like TV commercials, like radio, like billboards, like outdoors, this really cost millions. Big companies like Coca-Cola, like PepsiCo, like Nestle, they usually have annual marketing budget in each country more than $2-3 million. This is for a normal company. For Coca-Cola and PepsiCo, they exceed $15 million a year as a marketing budget. Startups don't have this luxury. They don't have this amount of money. They don't have really much to invest in marketing. So if you're a startup and you really want to scale and to have a good presence on the international level, this is very challenging. And this is my focus, actually. What kind of marketing activities, marketing strategies, marketing tools, tactics, program that you can use not only to reach out to your customers within your country, but to reach out to be able to internationalize, to be international business. But in the beginning, let me give you a quick introduction about myself, about my background, basically. I'm Wael Eldesouki. I'm leading the Center of Entrepreneurship at one of the leading universities in Egypt. It's called the Arab Academy for Science, Technology, and Maritime Transport, and it's the Arab League educational organization. And throughout the Entrepreneurship Center that I'm leading, we have different incubators. We have an incubator focused on supply chain. We have an incubator focused on tourism. We have a mixed business incubator focused on supporting youth-led startups. We have other national platforms. So throughout the journey, I've been mentoring hundreds of startups in different sectors and in different industries. And I also have a business background, as I used to lead our family business since 2001. So over 19 years, I have over 19 years of business experience in different sectors, in FMCG, in distribution, in marketing, and feasibility studies. And actually, I'm progressing my PhD on entrepreneurial marketing. So, so this presentation is a summary of interviews, best practices with more than 20 startups, top startups in the region. I've asked them about what kind of marketing strategies and tools that worked out with them, what was proved to be successful, what was efficient. And most of the startups, or I would say all of the startups that I have done interviews with, or I've asked to get their insights on their marketing strategies, they raised funds over $1 million US. Some of them raised $3 million, some raised $2 million, some raised even more. So those startups are operating, are very successful. They are basically scale-ups. So I got their insights on what kind of marketing strategies and tools that worked out with them to be able to internationalize and to scale their business. And this is the conclusion. I will share the conclusion with you. I mean, you will not find this conclusion anywhere else. This model is, this entrepreneurial marketing model is is not copied from a textbook or from any article. This is an original study that is based on best practices from top startups, especially in the MENA region. Some startups were based in the MENA region, some startups were based in USA or UK, but most of them are startups that have been there for 3 or 4 years. In the beginning, let me share the story of Airbnb with you. Everyone is familiar with Airbnb. This successful story, an idea found by 3 co-founders back in 2008 in San Francisco. 3 friends. They were based in San Francisco, and there was a big conference, design conference in San Francisco, where the rooms, the hotels were very limited and didn't have the capacity to host all audience that were coming from all over the world to San Francisco. So they decided to get 3 beds and put them in their home and do a website for people to rent the 3 beds in their home. It was named Air Bed and Breakfast. It wasn't Airbnb. And then after a year, they changed the name to Airbnb, and they got an investment of $600,000, and they stayed for 1 full year. No one were approaching their company. No one were, no business, no sales on their platform. They had few clients or few customers in New York City, and they stayed for 1 year. And after a year, they went to their clients in New York City, and they took professional pictures of their places, of their properties, of their homes, of their bedrooms. And they insisted on having this concept of bed and breakfast. They were not approaching hotels. They were not competing with Booking.com. They were focused on traditional homes where people are willing to host some guests or some people. And in 3 years, by 2011, Airbnb was listed in 89 countries all over the world with valuation of $25 billion. So you just can't see how successful their business were in just 3 years. But actually, this was behind the focus on their business strategy. Throughout their journey, they had many opportunities to put onboard hotels or hotel rooms on their platform. But Airbnb, they were just focused on homes, on rental of bread and breakfast concept. So they stayed for years focused on this segment. Although they stayed for 1 full year till people could understand the concept of Airbnb. So if you want to be international, if you want to scale, if you want to be global, and this concept is getting very famous, the concept of born globals or international new ventures, where many companies are in the first place, they start with a vision of being international, with a vision of being global, not to stay for 20 or 30 years and scale or expand to 1 more country every year. The concept of born globals or international new ventures are getting very famous and very common, especially with tech-based startups, because everyone in the world has access to internet, and everyone can have access very quickly to online platforms, to e-commerce platforms, to shared economy, to marketplaces. So it's much more easier to have an international business if you have a tech-based company. But the thing is, what kind of niche, which focus area that you really focus on? I mean, if you try to compete head-to-head with Booking.com, Airbnb wouldn't have made it. If you try to compete with Amazon, just head-to-head with Amazon, the biggest e-commerce platform in the world, it would be very difficult. But if you have a niche, if you focus on a particular niche, like Etsy, they focus on the handcraft business, and they have strong global presence in the handcraft industry, but they don't sell everything. Even Amazon, when Amazon started, they started with buying selling books online, and then they expanded as they go. So all the startups, successful ones, they start with niche. They start with focus on something, and then, or focus on a specific customer segment, focus on a specific need, not full-fledged, not full features, not, they don't offer everything. They don't, it's not simply, it's not like a retail shop. It's not like supermarket. You cannot sell everything to everyone, and you want to have an international business. You need to find a very small, very specific niche. And this is basically one of the key success strategies to be successful in the international market. And afterwards, you start to build your marketing strategy. But otherwise, if you don't have a clear niche or a clear focus area, regardless of which strategies you're using, it won't be helpful to your business. So another thing that that we can learn from Airbnb is that they act first and then they scale their business. So this is what happened. They just had an opportunity, a conference coming to San Francisco. This the biggest and first design conference in the city, and a huge opportunity. Thousands of people are coming to the city, and they have few months to utilize this opportunity. So they just decided to launch the platform. They just decided to start with their own home and start the business. And when they tested, it worked very well. But if they stayed to plan for the startup, and this actually many startups do that. Many startups stay for maybe a year, or 8 months, or 6 months, or 9 months, just planning and planning and planning and putting strategy and risk assessment and contingency plans, and just act. They just start, just launch, and then scale, and then pivot, and then change, and then edit your business based on the feedback you get. Because most probably you will change the concept. Most probably you will change part of the business model as you start launching to the market. Definitely, you will face challenges. You will face different customer expectations that will be very challenging and will require you to change. Maybe your pricing, maybe your target market, maybe your the market, even the country, the geographical location that you operate in. And some cases it will require you to change the business itself. When Instagram started in the first place, it was not a social utility. It was not a platform where people can share images and videos. Instagram, the founder of Instagram, when he left Google, he stayed for 3 years working on a hardware company, and it failed. And after 3 years, he only picked one feature from this hardware company, which was sharing images, and he launched Instagram with this feature. So he stayed 3 years to do that. The same happened with a famous company in the MENA region. It's an online platform for booking doctors called Visita. Visita, they also stayed for like 2 years until they changed their revenue stream. They were charging doctors in form of monthly subscription, and when they changed it to revenue share, to percentage revenue, their business moved up dramatically. Just changing the revenue stream, just changing the revenue model. So just launch, just act, and then as you move, you will need to change. Because if you want to be international, markets are different, consumer preferences are different. Even if you're successful in Thailand, not necessarily your business will work in Australia. It might not work in Indonesia. It might not work in Egypt. So you need to launch after you do your homework, definitely, after you understand the market, after you check the online platforms to get a sense of the trends, check Google Trends, check Amazon. They also provide some researches on market data and insights. There are different platforms that help you in understanding those international markets. But at the end of the day, there is a level of uncertainty, because you cannot afford to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars on customized market research on each country. So you will have basics, background information. You might find a partner in this country who understands this international market. But at the end of the day, just launch and then test and then change and edit. And so, I mean, this those are two things that we can learn from Airbnb that help them in being international and scaling to 89 countries in 3 years. Just act first, start. When Facebook started, they only started in Harvard University to test the concept. And then after a year, they started to be regional, international, and then global. So find your Harvard. This is what people say. Find your Harvard. Find the market that you test in. And when you test, you will change and you will develop as things go. So I will share the conclusions of or the best marketing practices that worked out with top startups that I've personally interviewed and summarized and analyzed to reach out to a conclusion or an entrepreneurial marketing model that works for startups that want to internationalize their business. And actually, again, internationalization is very challenging because if you want to run business in one country, you need to invest some marketing time and effort and money in this country. But if you want to be international, so you have many countries, different markets, so you cannot invest time and money in different markets. So it's very difficult and very challenging, and you have resource constraints. So what can you do? So this is the model. Basically, those 7 strategies were found out to be the top strategies for startups, top marketing strategies for startups to be international. And if you see this, the slices of this chart, the size of each slice, it represents the importance and weight of every strategy. So the most important 3 strategies for any startup to be able to, or marketing strategies to be able to internationalize are having strong digital presence and having strong partnerships and focus on sales. And then it's followed by networks, having a strong or being always connected with support organizations, with international organizations, with embassies, with government entities that support entrepreneurs and SMEs and startups. They really give very good opportunities. And then focus on content. It's not a matter of online advertising or online or Facebook ads or digital ads. It's a matter of content, having a very successful content. All the startups, they focus on, they even have someone who is writing creative content, not only traditional posting on Facebook, not only traditional Facebook ads or Instagram ads or whatever. It's a matter of having a content that can go organic, that can go viral, where you can achieve hundreds and thousands of shares and likes and engagement. And the concept of referrals, I will talk about each one of those in details. This is the objective of today's session. So I will talk about partnerships, I will talk about digital presence, what kind of tactics, what kind of activities that you can do in partnerships. But I just want to give a quick idea about the 7 strategies. And as I just said, it's not the traditional marketing that we used to know, the traditional marketing channels that that companies used to choose. They talk about integrated marketing communication channels. They talk about marketing mix, product, price, place, and promotion. When they talk about communication strategy or advertising strategies, they use channels like TV ads, billboards, and we don't have any of that in this model. And because actually it does not work out with startups with their limited resources. You cannot afford advertising on television. Even if you have the budget or even if you have the money, sometimes it's not wise or it's not rational to invest millions on TV commercials. So that's why having strong digital presence, and I will tell you what kind of digital presence. It's not only social media. It's not a matter of Facebook ads or ads at all. Some tools are much more important than advertising on social media. And I will talk about partnerships, about networks, about direct sales, and about referrals. Referrals is the concept where you refer to someone, like influencers, like subject matter experts who can refer to my business. And I will talk about that in details. And definitely, PR and publicity is a very powerful tool for startups. PR and publicity is access to media, where you have a good media exposure, where you have good presence, good opportunity like TV interview, articles in press, in magazines, in newspapers, running events and conferences, just creating buzz about your business. And believe me, PR are much more effective than traditional advertising because it's more credible. People will trust someone who is not advertising. People will trust someone who's just showcasing someone who's showcasing their success or their business on a TV show or whatever. And this is easy in many countries. So I just will get or give you a deeper dive in each one of those strategies. And I just want you to as you see in this model, the most important three strategies are partnerships, digital presence, and direct sales. Those are very important. And focus on direct sales is very critical in startups, because at the end of the day, your marketing objective is not only to create branding or buzz. Your marketing objective, you have your sales funnel, you do any marketing activity. Even if you have a digital marketing campaign or a partnerships plan, or if you contact any influencer or retailer or referral, or if you want to work on content development, at the end of the day, this should be closed with clear sales effort. Otherwise, your business might not be effective. You might be doing a lot of marketing activities where the business does not grow, where you're not generating revenues. So you need to have a very strong and clear sales efforts. It might be salespeople, it might be sales process on the platform, on your digital as part of the process, where you close every single transaction you do with sales. Otherwise, it will not affect your business. You're not doing that for only for branding. You're not in this phase actually. As a startup, you need to see impact on sales. So let me start with partnerships. If you want to internationalize your business, partnerships is especially if you want to be international, because you're not familiar with those markets, you're not familiar with what's going on customer preferences, needs, priorities of the purchasing power, market competition. So if you find a business partner in each country, it will help you a lot. Help you with money, help you with understanding the market, help you with the marketing, with advertising. And in some cases, people don't prefer to partner with other companies in particular markets. So there are different other formats of partnerships, including distributor. And actually having a distributor in each market is a very successful strategy for startups, very effective. You keep your brand ownership, you keep your equity, and you keep the upper hand, because you are you have full control over your business, and you have distributor in each country. You have distributor in Indonesia, you have distributor, or maybe different distributors in big countries. Maybe you have 3 or 4 distributors in one country. Even if you work as technology, even if you work in software, for example, one of the companies, IoT companies, they work on an IoT software, Internet of Things, where they utilize IoT, artificial intelligence, for manufacturing and for product lines, for machines. So they don't produce machines; they only produce the software of machines, and they partner with the top machines manufacturers in the world. So their model is based on partnerships. They don't approach the factories, they don't approach users, they approach manufacturers. He was just telling me that they're the smallest partner, the smallest machine partner, their capital is more than $500 million. So, and they have their own sales network, they have their own clients. So when this company sell any product line or machine, you sell the software automatically with them. It's like you know, the process of Intel. If you think like Intel inside, you sell the software to laptop manufacturers. So when they sell any laptop, you just make sure that your product is highly considered. So having distributors that complement your business, they don't compete with my business, but they complement my business. It will really help in doing that. And definitely there are many other forms of partnerships, like strategic alliance, like affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is very important. For example, affiliate marketing where you have, when you partner with someone online, two mobile applications or two websites or two platforms, and they just sharing the same or targeting the same audience, targeting the same target market. But they sell different products. Having or being present on their platform and they are present on your platform will help in generating sales and making more money. So affiliate marketing is very important, and it's a very successful form of partnerships. Another important strategy is direct sales. Actually, if you don't have a sales process, strong sales process as part of your plan, you're in big trouble. You need to focus on sales. You need to have a strong, what I mean by process is, if you have a technology, if you're in the technology business, I mean by technology business, not hardware or software. I mean, you have even e-commerce business, online platform, shared economy. Having strong analytics on your website, strong lead generation process, strong CRM system, customer relationship management system that you use, where you can track all the visitors to your website and you can track all everyone interested in your Facebook ads or social media ads. If you can track their get their contacts as leads or potential customers, and you have someone who can follow up with them with cold sales, like giving them phone calls or sending email shot or sending SMS or doing telemarketing or doing physical meetings or business meetings. It depends on the business, what type of business you're in. If you work in business to business space, so you need to have a physical meeting, face-to-face meeting, or Zoom meeting at least. But at the end of the day, you have your own marketing platforms just to get leads. And when you get leads, you need to have an efficient CRM system to follow up with the leads and to measure the funnel. They call it conversion optimization, to optimize the conversion from leads to potential customers to paying customers. And you measure each phase. If one of your objectives or KPIs, number of mobile application downloads, you have to set measurable downloads as part of the, and after the downloads, you have number of subscribers. And after subscribers, you have number of visitors. And after visitors, you have number of paying customers. So you need to measure each one of those. You need to make sure that you optimize this process. So you spend on other marketing tools efficiently. So you need to follow up with clear direct sales and clear sales team. In some cases, many startups, they just hire salespeople or outsource sales entities, or some people who work in the United States UI and UX company, user experience and user interface, and they have over 200 employees, and they only focus on UI and UX. They don't do websites. They don't have developers. They only focus on UI and UX, user interface and user experience. 200 employees working in that, and all of their clients are based in San Francisco and California, basically. When they started in the first place, the company name is WebKeys. When they started in the first place, he hired the founder. He hired a Russian sales lady, and actually she wasn't effective because she didn't have experience in software industry. She didn't have experience in selling to companies in California. But he thought that she has this ongoing personality and she will be able to sell to companies, but actually didn't work out. And then he tried to outsource to another telemarketing company based in Philippines, where they have professional outbound. I was muted. Sorry. So he outsourced a call center or outbound telemarketing team based in Philippines. So they get data of clients in California and you just call them all, and the potential prospects, they just send him the data to his salespeople so they can follow up with the potential clients. So this is the process. When this guy started in the first place, it was an opportunity. He got an award, and the award was an acceleration program in Silicon Valley. And during this trip to Silicon Valley, he just bought paid money to buy data of 300 companies in Silicon Valley. So he just got their emails, and he sent them all emails. He did it himself, and he just waited to get a response. He had a response from 30 of them, and he did 10 business meetings, and he started to do business with 4 of the 10. So I mean, this is how it works out. So in the first place, he just got data, 300 emails of 300 contact persons in different companies in Silicon Valley, and just he sent them cold emails. He doesn't know them and they don't know him. And this is how his business started. And then he hired sales team, and then he outsourced another place. It was just direct contact to do sales. So this is very important. So I mean, don't wait for Facebook ad to get you sales to your place. You need to follow up with sales efforts. The third strategy is digital presence, having a strong digital presence. And actually, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Wael.
Okay, thank you. So, was the mute? Did you got the sales part, or it was muted as well? Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So So when it comes to digital presence, to online presence, actually, it's not a matter of online ads. It's not a matter of most of the startups that are really successful. They say that social media ads are expensive because the customer acquisition cost would be very high if they only focus on social media ads, on paid ads. Because when you invest in digital ad, you need to get some leads, but usually if you pay for every single lead, this is very expensive, because when you get one customer, he only pay you once. So if you pay every time you want to get customers or new customers, this is not efficient. So the digital presence does not mean only paid ads. Paid ads, you're outreaching your customers. But there are different type of people who are interested, just searching online. If you want to travel, for example, if they want to travel to Maldives, if they want to spend their honeymoon vacation or anniversary, if they want to buy anything online, they just go online and search for what they are doing or what they want to do. So in some cases, you miss those very high potential customers. So, okay. So, when we talk about digital presence, we have Google AdWords is very important. PPC, PPM, pay-per-click, pay-per-impression. SEO is very important. Search engine optimization and search engine marketing. App Store campaigns. I'm not sure how many of you use App Store campaigns and how many of you are optimizing their campaigns on the App Store. Email marketing is very effective. And you just need to make sure that when you have an email marketing, when you launch an email marketing campaign, just check the security so your emails does not go to the spam. UI and UX, App Store optimization, SMS marketing is also effective. Another strategy is networks. Okay, someone is asking what is the ratio to organic versus paid acquisition. Actually, it depends on the business. I mean, B2B, the customer acquisition cost in B2B is higher than B2C. So it depends on the industry you're in. It depends on the business. So yes, networks are very important, are extremely important, because export development authority are really helping. International organizations like EU organizations, like USAID organizations, it's very important, and they also always have funds for entrepreneurs and for startups, and they give you opportunities and market access to different markets. So being connected with those competitions, many entrepreneurship competitions and startup competitions, they give grants. One of them is like Hull Prize. Hull Prize, they give one annual prize every year of $1 million. $1 million every year. So there are thousands of competitions all over the world, and where you can get pre-seed fund or seed fund or investment and access to them. So you need to be active. You need to make sure that you network with those people. And at the end of the day, it's a matter of content. It's not a matter of paid ads. It's not a matter of it's a matter of being active online, writing articles, having diversity of content, infograph, articles, blogs. Blogging is very important. You just fishing, you're just putting seeds everywhere on Google. So so you need to make sure that you have creative, well-established content online. PR and publicity is another strategy, very important strategy. So, and the last one is referrals. Referrals like specifiers, like influencers, like bloggers, like testimonials. They have credibility and they have their network. Some influencers, they have followers, millions of followers. Specifiers or referrals like engineers. When you're in the construction business, specifiers are really important, and they have credibility and the influence and the impact the decision or the business decision. So I just want to stop here and just go through the questions because we have like 5 minutes left. So I want to go through the questions. Yes. Okay, thank you. So Omar is writing, even if, okay, how do I create a creative, qualified, effective content on B2B sales and marketing? Actually, B2B is very important, and B2B is a different story. But at the end of the day, B2B, they need strong PR. B2B, they need they don't need you to send direct selling messages. They won't buy it. They won't accept it. And B2B, you need to engage more and give them more information. So if you're in the industry, or for example, if you're in the industry of recruitment, and your clients are big companies who want to recruit people, so you need to write blogs and articles and give them infographics on the best recruitment practices, new trends and technologies in recruitment. So it's a matter of having a very diversified content online that help all recruiters just to give them information and to give them knowledge. You need to engage them with events. You need to engage them with conferences, roundtable discussions, experts meetings. You need to invite them as speakers. So engaging business entities in the B2B market is very important. Someone is asking what are specifiers? Yes, specifiers are experts, subject matter experts, who specify a specific product for you to buy. For example, if you're in the construction business and you want to buy a smart home technology, so most probably you will ask the engineer who is the expert in doing that about which smart home technology is the best and cost effective and after sale maintenance. So specifiers are people, subject matter experts, where people refer to them and ask them about their opinion to buy things. Like doctor, if you want to buy medicine or something, you ask your doctor, you don't buy it yourself. Someone is writing, as you kindly mentioned about incubator, is there a room for partnership with startup, with supply chain incubator? Yes, definitely. You have an incubator focus on supply chain, support startups in the logistics space, like delivery, transportation, import, export, shipping, and actually those startups are really doing. Most of them are doing very well during the COVID, the pandemic, because the e-commerce business is booming and the delivery business is booming, and the e-commerce and the shipping and logistics is really important. So yes, definitely you can contact me, and I'll just write down my email here so you can contact me for that. And you all have my email if you just want to ask me about anything in entrepreneurial marketing. I'll be very happy to support. Someone is writing, some startups face challenges with digital payment gateways. Yes, definitely, especially to enter the US market. Are there alternatives? There are some alternatives to digital payments, but it depends on the country. So if you talk about the US market, definitely PayPal is on the top. We have Fabulous as a gateway. We have Accept as a gateway, payment gateway. So you just, if you drop me an email, and I will try to give you a proper or a specific advice. So. Okay, I will write my email here in the chat. So if you want to send me an email. Okay, another one. Someone is asking, how do you work with or engage specifiers in terms of benefits? Yes, very good question. Specifiers are very important, especially in B2B. In B2B, specifiers are extremely important. Like engineers, like doctors, like subject matter experts. Engaging specifiers is done through one of two things. One of them is giving them a referral fee, which is if you get me a client, you will get 15% or 10% or 20%. This is something very clear and to the point. It works with some specifiers. And another strategy is engage them in like recognition, engage them in events, invite them to speak in one of your international events, or send them to do like a kind of networking. I mean, you're adding value to them, inviting them to experts meetings. So he believes that he is one of the few selected experts in this industry, and you are the one who moderate this experts meeting. So automatically, all of them will believe that you are a trusted person who always keep on updating the experts and connecting the experts. So there are different strategies to engage them. Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for your time. And you all have my email. I'll be very happy to help and support and get in touch with you anytime. Thank you all. Thank you.